Hi, I'm Michelle Johnson. Welcome to Quiltinator.com. What I'd like to do is show you how to figure out where your 1/4 inch is whenever you're sewing with your even feed foot. So what I did is I took just 2 pieces of fabric and a piece of batting, and you're going to do it just like any other quilting thing that you do. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to just put it to the outside here. We're going to set the edge of the foot over here. And you need to understand every walking foot, everybody who makes one, they make them different. So if you'll see on other people's that they're going to have a gap in here that you can see better. I have teeth, those little white pieces here, where this little white knob is. That's the teeth on the even feed foot. And so the first thing I'm going to do is lift up my bobbin thread and put it here. And then I'm just going to do a quick seam. And as you can see, I didn't even change the setting. I should change the stitch length. Oops, hopefully you can see that. Cut that. And then if you're just looking, you can tell that that's not a 1/4 inch. Here is a measuring gauge. It was like $2 at Joann Fabrics. It might have been a little less, and I think probably with your 40 or 50% off coupons, you can get it really inexpensively. But you can see here that I've got quite a bit of room. So what I'm going to do is this time, I'm going to start down a little farther. I'm going to start down in the middle, pulling up my bobbin thread. And what I have done this time is the edge of my fabric over here, it is lined up with the inside edge of this foot. So you can see here, you'll see the even feed, you can see the teeth on the even feed foot. It's back in a back position to feed it through, and what I have done is basically moved it over. This is not what we want to do, really, because you want the feet, the teeth on the feed dog to really grip it. So that is not what you want. What you want to do is, again, have your fabric to the edge of your foot, but this time we're going to move the needle over. And right now where I had it was a 5. I'm going to move it as far as it goes, which is 7 on mine, and I'm going to stitch a few stitches. You might need to get a pen and paper and have it handy so that way you know what you've done, or even on your practice piece here, see what it's done. So here you can see that I am just over a 1/4 inch. If you look from the edge of my fabric to where my stitches are now, and it is right at a 1/4 inch. Really, I need gloves to do this. But if I have on my machine here, if I have the edge of my fabric to the inside of the silver of my foot. Let's try that and see how that works. Let's see if I can, I've just got it caught. Okay, so here's on the inside edge, 1/4 inch. I'm just barely covering up the stitches, and I'm touching the outside of my fabric with the others. The one side is covering the edge of the fabric. This other side is covering just right over the stitches. And that would be a scant 1/4 inch. And that's what I'm looking for. So either I can have a full 1/4 inch and put it to the outside with my needle set all the way to the right as far as it'll go, or I can just slightly pull my fabric just inside to the inside of this little bar that you can see. You have to play with your machine to figure out what your 1/4 inch is. And don't just trust that the 1/4 inch foot that you get is a 1/4 inch. Because you'll have 3 different feet and they will all be a 1/4 inch foot, but they may not be exactly the same. So if you go to a class and you share someone's machine, and then you come home and your stitches are just a little different, then it just happens to be your feet are just a little bit different. And that's okay, just so you know that that's a possibility, and if you need to adjust for using somebody else's machine to start with. Or the other thing is to stay with the same ruler throughout your project. Because, believe it or not, some rulers are not the same as well, even by the same companies. And I'll show you that on another video sometime. So, this is how you figure out how to do a 1/4 inch seam. My cat is saying hello to you. I'm Michelle Johnson. This is Quiltinator.com, and I'm getting back to quilting.